I hope they're excited for it. I hope somebody is.
You're supposed to be
Actually,
excited.
I don't care. Actually, I don't care. I don't care if anybody's excited or not. Like, it doesn't matter to me. None of this matters to me anymore. I don't care. Whatever. I'm doing my own stuff. I don't care about any of this corporate synergy. I don't care about any of these crossovers. I don't think there's anybody left in comics. Very few people that are creative enough to be excited about. I think this will just be another thing where they put out a bunch of covers.
Everything's all about nostalgia bait, and comic books are certainly all in on that. We've got the Energon universe, which is awesome, but we've also got Thundercats, which is very much not so awesome. And here to talk to me about nostalgia bait and how I think it's actually starting to turn people off is our good friend Aaron Sparrow. How you doing, Aaron?
I'm doing all right. I saw that Dynamite just announced that they're going to do 87 DuckTales. So I'm sure they will do that with all of the passion and commitment that they put into their Darkwing Duck series. So I'm sure it won't be very good at all.
So we're going to get into some of these. We're going to start from the worst stuff to the best stuff that was all announced this week. The Terminator is back with an all-new series from Dynamite Entertainment that sees killer robots traveling all through human history as Skynet expands its efforts to wipe out humanity. The Terminator comes from writer Declan Shalvey and artist Luke Sparrow. It is set to arrive this October and will mark the 40th anniversary of the release of James Cameron's original Terminator film.
Well, thank God that Declan Shalvey is not writing it. Because when you first said his name, I thought you were saying he was writing it, and he's writing Thundercats, right? And that's
No, he's writing this too. Thank God he's not illustrating it, because it would also look like shit.
Oh, God. Why would you? Oh, so Luke Sparrow's the artist.
Yes.
Well, he's got a good name. I'll give him that.
He does. Is that a cousin?
No, maybe. Who knows? have to check the family tree. Give it a shake, see what falls out. But why do they keep letting Declan Shalvey write?
I don't know. He has literally one of the worst comic book issues released in the last 5 years. Alien Annual 2023. If you don't believe me, go check it out. It is one of the laziest forms of comic book writing I've ever experienced in my life. I've read 3 of his Thundercats issues. All of them terrible. You can clearly tell he doesn't like Thundercats. Maybe he likes Terminator. Maybe that's the winning formula. Maybe they found a movie he enjoyed.
I don't understand why he was tapped for Thundercats. You're right. He absolutely doesn't seem to like it. Seems to me that would have been something you would have called, like, I don't know, Tim Seeley for. You know, Tim Seeley's a toy guy, and he does like He-Man, and so why wouldn't you call him for Thundercats? Why would you call Declan Shalvey? He must be cheap.
I imagine his page rate's much lower, and they wanted to blow all their money on the covers.
That's true. Although, as I understand it, they don't blow a lot of money on covers either. I hear some cover artists get as little as $1 and the exposure.
Now, Terminator obviously is a great franchise, a really cool horror sci-fi movie, but we haven't had anything good Terminator maybe since the Sarah Connor Chronicles. Like, we haven't even had a good comic book with Terminator in 20 years.
No, that's fair. I don't think we're going to get one now.
No, certainly not. I just wish they would have put somebody cool in this book. I'm so tired of the same lame-ass names being recycled through the entire industry.
It's the entire industry right now is just rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic. It's like everything's going down. Nobody has any ideas. Everybody who's in control of everything has been in control way too long. They don't have any fresh blood. They don't have anybody coming in who can say, hey, this would be really cool if we did this, or people that are really passionate about it anymore. It's just a lot of people just kind of running out the clock on their careers, running out their clock on the industry.
Does it get you excited? The way that they're pitching this is that it's going to be in line with Terminator and Terminator 2, and then it's going to forget everything starting at Terminator 3.
No, because it's still going to be Declan Shalvey writing it. And he has not proven to me that he can handle any property thus far. If he had one banger and one miss, then I'd be like, okay, well, he's 50-50. We'll see what he does. And I'd be more, more willing to give the benefit of the doubt. But this is Dynamite. So unless you've got, they've got one good editor there, and then everybody else is lazy AF. So, it's unless they have their good editor on the book, who's, maybe giving Declan Shalvey notes and knocking that thing into shape, they'll just have one of their regular run-of-the-mill hacks on it who won't care. And it's just, it's good enough for who it's for. It's just, about getting those covers out there and in selling those. And, they'll put it out and it'll just be another immediately forgettable thing from Dynamite. How many immediately forgettable books does Dynamite put out? Almost everything is just so disposable. And they have great licenses. And if they would just hire more editors that gave a shit, they could really be doing something. They could really be like picking up steam, and they could be getting a lot of acclaim, and they could be, a much bigger company than they are. But I guess it's fine. I don't know if it's a money laundering scheme. I don't know if Baruchi's in with the mob. I don't know what the deal is, but I don't understand why Dynamite doesn't try.
Space Ghost is at least kind of good right now, but obviously that's not written by Declan Shalvey. And the big selling point so far that I can see if you go in and read the articles is there's going to be an Alex Ross cover. Doesn't it break your heart that comic books are no longer considered media, like entertainment? They're just considered collectibles, like they're baseball cards.
Yeah, that's basically it. It's really sad that, like, why does Dynamite even bother putting anything in the middle? Just do prints. Become a print company. Just give the license, and then you don't have to pay the artists. You don't have to pay the writers. You don't have to do any of that. You just put out a print. Of all these covers that you want to do, just put them out as prints. You've saved yourself a bunch of money. You can even make them comic sized if people still want to put them in bags and boards. What is the point?
Well, the point is we'll get that Alex Ross cover. There'll likely be a Peach Momoko cover. There'll be a couple other artists, maybe a J. Scott Campbell in there, and they'll sell 140,000 copies of the first issue. Because of their variant covers or whatnot, and then everybody will forget about the story. But we've got more nostalgia bait in the pipeline, Aaron. Marvel just announced Alien Romulus prequel comic, claiming that it will expose an illuminating backstory behind the film's main threat. The comic was written in partnership with the creative team behind the upcoming film, including director Fede Alvarez. Releasing on October 16th, Alien Romulus is written by Zach Thompson.
The movie comes out in August. It'll be over by the time that prequel
It's the prequel to the movie.
But it'll be over by then. Like, why wouldn't you put the prequel out before the movie to get people hyped for the movie?
It certainly isn't like getting you ready for the movie if it comes out after the movie.
No, and if the movie sucks, then you didn't even comic marketing, man. Comic marketing. It's non-marketing.
I love Alien comic books. Like, even kind of an average Alien comic book is normally in my wheelhouse, but Marvel have really been whiffing on all of their Alien stuff, and Zach Thompson doesn't get me excited to think that they're going to turn it around anytime soon.
No, I've got nothing negative to say about Zach Thompson, but I also can't name a single thing that I remember that he's ever written. So I don't know. I don't know if that's a negative or positive as far as I'm concerned, but just the fact that it's a Marvel Alien book makes me feel like it's a negative right out of the gate. They've not done as well with any of those licenses as Dark Horse, have they? The only good thing that we got was a Predator crossover with Wolverine.
That was a lot of fun, but we haven't gotten a whole lot out there with Alien as of late. All the movies as of late haven't been good. Was Prometheus good? It wasn't awful. What was the other one? Alien
Covenant?
Covenant. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Where it had the dude from Eastbound and Down that was in everything there for a minute.
Yeah, he was real popular for a minute. And then
he's like the best part of that movie.
Movies. He is the best part of that movie. I don't think that he's
in it for like 12 minutes.
I don't think he should be blamed for any of the problems of that movie. It's like Prometheus had a great cast too. Like, you had some really heavy hitters in there. You had Idris Elba and you had Charlize Theron and Fassbender. Like that could have been really great, but they let Damon Lindelof write the script and turn it into some weird. God, you got to watch the Red Letter Media cut where they just ask all the questions that they had about the movie. And it's just a cut of all of the questions. And apparently, I heard, I don't know if it's true, but I heard that they had like 30 minutes and they just like trimmed it down to 8. That's how many like ridiculous things that movie had going on.
There's a lot of ridiculous stuff in the newer Alien movies. Obviously, Disney didn't even produce those, but I think they've got a show coming out along with Alien Romulus. But I would like to be excited about this. It's something I will definitely check out because I check out basically all of Alien stuff. Because it's just one of those franchises that I really love. But I don't think we're going to be getting anything, approximating, like Alien Death Orbit.
I miss when Dark Horse had all these properties. I miss when they were churning out books because, I mean, almost everything that they put out, you would at least be like, that was pretty good, if not excellent.
Absolutely. They even had a pretty decent feel on Predator, although their Predator Hunter series was not very good, even though it had a fantastic concept. All the humans that have survived encounters with predators getting together to go hunt down a pack of predators. But then it ended up being like, we found a little boy in Afghanistan and he's so oppressed and we just feel really bad for him. I was like, why is this in a fucking Predator Hunter book?
That's exactly right. That's the same thing that I was like, what is this? Like, what are you doing? Like, this is not why anybody buys this book. This is not what anybody who buys this into this concept is looking for.
But it's certainly something to get more excited for, I think, than Terminator from Declan Shalvey. Although it sounds like it's probably coming out 2 months too late.
We'll see how the movie does. You know, you'd want to get it out at least at the same time, if not right before, while the movie hits, like the same day that the movie hits theaters. You should have that book on the shelf.
Certainly.
That's Marvel.
Certainly.
It's Marvel. They're run by people who don't care.
Our final announcement this week, that's probably the most exciting, in conjunction with Viz Media, IDW Publishing will be publishing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles X Naruto, a 4-issue miniseries. The first issue will be out November 13th. Written by Caleb Goldner. The Turtles come to help their reporter friend April O'Neil, who's been meeting with Lady Tsunade, the leader of the Hidden Leaf Village, home of Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, Kakashi. The Sinister Foot Clan think April might know something about the scientist Baxter Stockman's mutant research. This is kind of exciting, right? I think this actually makes sense.
No, I saw the design for April, and I was just like, I'm out.
What'd they do to April?
She's black again. She can only be black now. She's never going to be a ginger again, like she was intended to be.
She's a ginger. She's an old ginger in the Last Road and stuff. Still,
well, that's because that's written by the creators. But all these new reimaginings now, she can't ever be April again. She always has to be this race swapped April that they're determined on doing. And if April started out that way, I wouldn't care. And I know like it's a different universe and blah 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 blah, the multiverse. I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of all these alternate versions. I'm tired of multiverses. I'm just it's boring. It's over. It's I don't know. Like the turtles with the masks were kind of a cool design, but I'm not buying this. I don't care.
This is the one I thought you were going to be excited for. I thought you were going to be championing this bad boy.
Nope, don't care.
At least in theory, the fans of Naruto likely have read a manga. Maybe they're used to it. It could create new readers.
Maybe. I hope they're excited for it. I hope somebody is.
You're supposed to be excited.
I don't care. Actually, I don't care. I don't care if anybody's excited or not. Like, it doesn't matter to me. None of this matters to me anymore. I don't care. Whatever. I'm doing my own stuff. I don't care about any of this corporate synergy. I don't care about any of these crossovers. I don't think that the creative teams, I don't think there's anybody left in comics, very few people that are creative enough to be excited about. I think this will just be another thing where they put out a bunch of covers and a bunch of people will collect it, and they'll have some really limited ones and some really people with just stupid money to spend will go out and spend a bunch of money on those covers and never open the book and never read it. I don't know. I'm just kind of burnt out, Wes. I don't care about the mainstream comic book industry anymore. I don't care about what they put out. I don't care about their nostalgia plays. It's all just the same, like you said, it's just the same people being recycled from book to book, and there's nobody to get excited about no matter what they get put on.
Aaron, this stuff is aimed at you. You're the guy that spends all this money on collectibles and knows all the history and lore of the characters. When they do stuff like this, it's with you in mind, and they just totally turned you off.
No, they told me that they didn't want me. They've been telling me that for years. They don't want my money, and I have acquiesced to their wishes. They will not get my money. I don't care.
Wouldn't you have liked to have written a TMNT Naruto crossover though? It would be fun.
Yes. Yeah. I would have put my heart and soul into it, and then they would have just crapped it out or done something to ruin it. And it's like, I like all these properties, but I don't really have any interest in ever working on them again. I don't have any interest on working within the mainstream corporate structure of comics anymore. And accordingly, I also can't get excited about any of these projects. Like, tomorrow they could be like, oh, Street Sharks comic book. And I'd be like, well, so what? Who cares? They could be like, what else do I like?
What if they did Silver Sharks? You would like that.
Or Silverhawks?
Silverhawks.
Or Tiger Sharks.
Silverhawks.
They could do a Thundercats, Tiger Sharks, Silverhawks crossover. And I'd be like, I don't care. I'm not buying it. And they're fighting the Inhumanoids. So what? I don't care. Who's a creative team? Oh, Stephanie Phillips. Good job. Yeah, I'm super excited about that. Yay. Yay, comics.
What about when they
$8 for that first issue?
Introduce Mask into the Energon universe? No one's going to be more excited than you.
They'll do something
by Kelly Thompson.
By Kelly Thompson. Just like I was like, oh, a Scarlet book. I love Scarlet. And they were like, by writer Kelly Thompson. And I was like, never mind.
Oh, you've read the first issue?
I read it. I didn't buy it. I read it. It had some good covers too, and I didn't do it. I didn't buy it. I have not read the second one yet.
You were so lucky because it only gets worse.
I'm sure the first one was so bad. Like it was like, and if that was your best effort, like that first issue, you want to hook them on the first issue, so you put in your best effort. It's only going to go downhill from there.
There you go. The nostalgia bait's not working for a lot of people anymore. I think they've seen through it. There's got to be a time when we get out of this nostalgia era where everything is a reboot or a relaunch or a sequel or a prequel or a multiversal idea of something that already exists. We have to have new ideas somewhere down the pike.
I'd like to think we'll get back. I don't even care if we get out of the nostalgia era. The nostalgia is fine. You can keep bringing back these properties. People love these properties. I love these properties. I would just like to get back to a time when the comic book industry had talented people who were passionate about what they were doing, working on the books and putting out the best possible version of those books. We don't have that. We don't have that because the books are all in the hands of like Dynamite, who I said doesn't care, or IDW, who's largely incompetent. I
just had an interview with Mark Miller a few days ago. And he was talking about something that he wants to pitch that would be like an enormous crossover. And I think that would get you, but it's Mark Miller, so you'd actually have a good writer.
Yeah, no, I'd be excited about it because I'd be like, oh, here's somebody who's going to do a good job. Like, you could announce the coolest crossover in the world, but if you tell me that, it's by Declan Shalvey, I'm going to be like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, like what writers are there left? Like,
is it just Mark Miller? Nobody, there's plenty of talented writers. They just don't get work.
That's what I'm saying. Like, to put on a TMNT Naruto book, I'd be super excited for, obviously, Jeremy Adams' take on it. I would love to see Jeff Johns, Robert Venditti. There's a lot of writers out there, but I think they're all kind of doing their own thing. At least we're getting the Jeremy Adams Flash Gordon book this week. So.
You could say that Mark Pellegrini was doing Turtles and Naruto, and I'd be like, oh, I'm there. I want to check that out. I know that Mark loves Turtles. I don't know if he loves Naruto, but he loves anime, so I have to assume that he is familiar with Naruto.
Pellegrini's actually published TMNT comic books, but they're done in Europe.
Yeah, no, you can't get work here. Can't get work in the American mainstream. We want that industry to die. Can't take a guy who's selling all these Common America books and try and bring that crossover audience over to TMNT. Don't want to do that.
Well, if there was one announcement that was going to get you excited, it was going to be TMNT Naruto, but I guess it's not the one.
I'm just not excited about the comic industry anymore. I like the comic industry. I'm not excited about. There's nothing going on, I guess, until maybe Mark Miller announces his next thing. There's nothing to get.
Well, he's got 5 books coming out this year, and I've already read 3 of them. Your guys are going to be very, very happy. But I do think Ghost Machine is good right now.
That is fair. No, Ghost Machine's awesome. Good, and most of Energon I'm enjoying. There is some good stuff out there, but it's tough. It's tough when I think that this is one of the big problems of the industry is that we've always said the health of Marvel is the health of the industry, and Marvel is such crap right now, and DC certainly ain't picking up any slack. They're in a terrible creative position. When the big two are kind of down, those are the drivers to get people into the comic book store every week, so that they pick up some of these other cool things that are going on. Energon gets me to go in and pick up books, but there's really nothing.
Yeah, what if they threw Josh Williamson on that TMNT Naruto book? I'd assume.
Then I would check it out because I would assume that he would bring the same passion that
Daniel Warren Johnson, TMNT Naruto.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so now we're talking. It's like 5 to 6 people in the industry that are writers that still get work in the mainstream. They can't write everything, although, dear God, I wish maybe they would.
We should clone them as AIs and let their robot versions write them.
Did you read that? You read that NYX? I know you did.
I have.
You post your review at Doc yet? Is that up yet?
No, it'll be out on Monday. Doc and I will record it on Saturday before the Comics Aficionados.
Wait.
I think Doc might have a conniption fit while I'm on the air.
This one might kill Doc. You gotta make sure that he's got like a crash cart standing by.
But that is the state of comic books in nostalgia. Nostalgia is everything right now. It's the only thing that's really guaranteed to sell. So we're going to be seeing lots more stuff like Terminator, TMNT Naruto, Alien, and all this kind of stuff proliferating throughout comic books, likely well into 2025. Aaron Sparrow and I just started talking, and this is the beginning of the Geek Fix, but we're going to talk about a lot more stuff you are interested in supporting Thinking Critical, you two go over to the Patreon, and Aaron and I have an awesome podcast waiting for you. 2.5 hours every single week. There's a link in the video description.